Recording is on.
So welcome everyone to Eternity's Public Developers Update Call. We are in the 35th week of 2019. There are 2 more weeks until many of us meet up in Prague, first for a hackathon, then for some workshops, and finally the weekend after the Eternity Universe 1 conference. We are expecting way over 100 people, so I think it will be a really nice get together. I'm looking forward to this. But next to that, development is going fast and rapidly, and we are working on many different areas. And like every week, I will just moderate and go through all the people participating in the call, and we get a short update. It's also fine to just skip the update if you work in a team and there's a colleague of yours have already given the update, and of course not everybody has to say something. Thank you for joining. And I was asked by Nikita if he could start with a quick update, but I don't see him here in the call yet. Nikita, if you are here, quickly voice yourself, because if not, I'm going to...
I'm here.
Perfect. Then, yes, we can hear you, not perfectly well, but we can hear you. So please just make the start, Nikita, please.
Okay. Last week we spent figuring out better error reporting from Pyla, because as we all remember who have been also in Turkey and here workshops, that the error reporting was a big part for whole collision administration and trying to write smart contracts for Eternity. And it's almost as difficult as to code is to figure out all possible cases we might want to handle, so to say. And when through this, I will put it in the file editor for workshop in Prague, and we're wrapping everything up, so it's gonna run smoothly there. I hope you heard me, guys. I have bad connection.
Yes, we heard that error reporting was a big topic, and this will also be discussed in Prague with the team, and tasks will be set in the backlog. I think that's the essence. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I'm late.
No worries. Thank you very much, Nikita. I'm just going right to the next person, which is Sergey, mainly coordinating the protocol team. We also have other people from core development in today's call, like Tino, and I have seen Ulf, but we start with Sergey, and then afterwards, Tino, you, and Ulf, you can also say a few sentences if you want to add stuff. So Sergey, please give us an update.
Hi everyone, Sergey is here. So I will give you more an overview, and since we have Ulf and Tino, maybe they can give a deep dive into what's actually going into stage channels, because this is their territory. I mean, we are since already several weeks, we are working on preparing our Lima release. So we are going quite well to our deadline. So 3 major topics is Fate, the new virtual machine. So there it looks that we are quite well on track. So now where most of the work is being done is gas pricing. So this is where we're working now. Then naming services. So naming services, we work mostly on the areas of subdomains, which is almost ready, and bidding, where still there is some work has to be done. And so we are relocating some resources there to speed things up. And also state channels, where our aim is to squeeze as many as possible, maybe actually all of the consensus breaking features which are required for building the state channels network. So basically, we want to try to put everything which is required on chain, which is a part of the protocol, to be able to continue working on the state channels networks, but without changes to the consensus. So basically, then we will start working on the finite state machine, but no hard fork will be required. It still remains to be open. We will make it, but at least this is what we're trying to do. And also today we are doing a hotfix release, 2 for 1. So it's out of the schedule. So it introduces a small fix to the way we handle error messages in generalized accounts, and also fixes a pretty nasty bug in how smart contracts are executed in state channels. So you are very encouraged to get the new release. So I think as we're talking here, our DevOps Dincha is preparing. So I think it should be ready in half an hour, maybe in a few hours. So that's it from my side.
Great, thanks a lot, Sergey. And maybe Tino, you can add a few words about for the state channel team on what exactly has been like the main topics in the past week.
Sure. Hi. As Sergey already mentioned, we are working on delivering the major features for Lima. So there are a couple of them right now in review, and hopefully they will be delivered next week. There's state cache encryption, which we've already talked about the last couple of weeks. Dynamic confirmation times for state channel updates. A new feature, which is pinned environments for state channel transactions, which is very high on the list of important features for Lima. And then there are a couple of improvements to the FSM implementation in state channels itself. Ulf is primarily working on those. That's stabilizing the FSM so that protocol-wise, when errors occur, the FSM doesn't shut down all the time, so the connection stays alive longer. That's good for the user because it improves the UX of the state channel implementation. And the error recovery and or connection recovery and connection reestablishment protocol on the protocol level is being consolidated, which also improves kind of the stability of the FSM, making it less error prone by having 5 or 6 different ways on how to recover a connection. That's pretty much everything. As I said, we're working on delivering those things until next week. So Ulf, maybe if you have anything to add.
Exactly, Ulf, you have anything to add? Good, silence. So thank you very much, Tino. Yeah, I think if you look at the Eternity protocol, state channels, like we always talk about on-chain and off-chain and scaling through state channels. So this whole area is like makes, I think, in the far future, will really make a huge difference. So thank you very much for all the effort and also this whole team that is working here. So like Ulf, Alexander, you, Tino, Dimitar, and of course, I mean, the coordination with the whole team. In the end, it's an extremely complex protocol. Yeah, thank you for your update. And I would go to Hernan. Hernan, I know you were thrown with your team into cold water, basically from 0 to 100, and to actually use all those APIs, use the SDK, and yeah, build one of the first state channel applications that will hopefully be used like on a day by a couple of hundreds of people. Payment POS thing. Please give your update. Make it like short, 5 minutes or so, because we have many people here, and I'm looking forward to where you are and also what challenges you face with it. So please.
Yeah, hi everyone. We are working very hard on fixing all the things we are encountering on the course of development of this application. We are looking to do frequent releases. For example, today I expect to make another release, fixing things on the Android platform. Well, we have a couple of issues with which we are working together with the community and the developers. For example, the issues with the camera and other things regarding updates. But I think we are doing pretty well. From our side, the only thing that keeps to be implemented that we are going to finish in the next days is the process of funds clearing, where the merchant gets the funds in his favor. Besides that, we are working in parallel with testing and with restyling the UI, because we have detected that in in screens with low vertical resolution, there are elements that get mixed, and it's a complete mess. But yeah, it's incredible. But for example, on the iPhone 5, which is very small, and we trusted that on it was displaying nicely and surprisingly on very small devices with low resolution screens. It requires a rework on the UI side. But okay, I think that we are on the right track. As we have talked in the forum, I think that today we will publish the repository with the code and issue tracker for us to be able to track the current issues for the people that is working with the application or testing it, to report new issues and so on.
Great, thank you very much. I mean, I also looking forward, maybe after this journey is finished, that we, like, for the community, it would be really nice to kind of present some sort of best practices. Also, the challenges you face, like you just mentioned here, it's starting with UX, there's a base app involved, different SDK versions, hosting the nodes, understanding the protocol, then understanding the basically front-end API built into the JavaScript SDK which you are using. So there is like a big set of dependencies, and of course we want to make it easy and like we want to, like, I think if you can provide the whole development community of blockchain application developers with tips and tricks on how to make this easier in the future, or which problems to avoid, that will be a huge value for the whole community. And I think the person who has the biggest knowledge here is Pivo. He is also here. He started already very early, like right after the launch of the mainnet in 2000. When was it? November 2018. I don't even know the years anymore. And right now you have built several applications, starting, not you alone, with Keno and some other people in the community. You have also faced those problems. Right now you're working on the governance app. There's a graffiti app, which will be also showcased during Ars Electronica and also during the event in Prague. So yeah, just, you know, I'm sure you have lots of things to do right now. Just give us an insight on what you're working on right now.
Yes, so let me first start with the graffiti app. So we updated the graffiti app to work on mainnet after some issues with the hosted nodes of the aeternity mainnet were resolved by Dincho. It was just a configuration issue that we couldn't access certain functionality from the node. And we made some updates that the graffiti actually happens on mainnet, works through base app very well. And you can also, like, do it on both networks. So if you open it in testnet, you get some automatic funding and everybody can try it out in a testing mode. And on mainnet, it's the real deal at the same time. So you can just choose in your base app. For the governance app, we were working on two main things in the last week. The first one was to implement a new design that we built together with our designer. And the second is to optimize and to rework a little bit how we figure out delegations that were happening in the past in an efficient manner, so that we don't have to recalculate all delegations each time. The last thing we worked on is the Elixir. The Elixir worked on for the new Lima hard fork version, on the pre-release version, Eternity Node, and compatible fonts, and also the work continued on being able to properly understand the interpret off-chain state in Galaxy SDK.
Wow, thanks a lot for this update and all the different areas you are hands-on. And I think it's very good and very nice also to see for the core protocol team that there are actually many people are working on interacting with the protocol, and it's not dead. Yeah, no, you can really see that stuff is happening in testnet, in off-chain state channels, but also in other different areas. Next to Pivo, I had someone in mind here, which I saw on my list. It's Peter. Ah, yeah, there he is. So Peter has been working the past weeks with his colleague on integrating Eternity into General Bytes, like physical ATM machines. I think this is also a nice project with several APIs. He used the community built Java SDK, and yeah, for sure you had lots of problems, but also success. So Peter, please give us your current state.
Hi everyone. So last week and that week we've been communicating with people from General Bytes, but it was the problem regarding the iPayment interface, iPayment support interface. At first we didn't implement it. After they pointed out, we implemented a version. But we have suggestions to make changes in that version, and those key things are that at current state the Java SDK API doesn't have functionality.
You're muted. I don't know why. Maybe you.
Do you hear me now?
Yes. Please continue.
Some kind of bug. So the key problem, according to General Bytes, is that at the current implementation of payment support, we doesn't count the confirmations of transactions. As I checked, that functionality is not implemented in the Java SDK API. I will contact Marco to make sure if it's really like this, and also have an idea of using the official blockchain of Eternity. I saw that it has nice API calls with JSON objects, would be quite comfortable for me to integrate and use.
Perfect.
Because there is all the information that is needed regarding the account balance, all the input coming transaction for that balance, and details for transactions like confirmations and such are available on the Block Explorer. So I'm thinking on integrating it in the payment support interface.
Of course, perfect. Yeah, this is, I think, exactly the way to go. It's kind of extending. I mean, you can also just extend and contribute to the Java SDK or just query the API directly. There are even some hosted services for middleware which could give you the information about confirmation times and so on. So I think the whole ecosystem is growing, and we really have a lot of developer tools right now. Yeah, please feel free to reach out to everyone.
I think, just to add, I think that it will be all right to extend the Java SDK, but I'm thinking now for fast solutions.
Of course.
I mean, I want to have a fast result, and after that we could improve it and make it even more better.
Perfect. It would be also nice. I mean, we're doing all this and also these calls here to show what our blockers are and how we are what tasks we prioritize. So please, everyone, one more time here also that every 2 weeks kind of posting a written summary in the forum can really help. Can help when people search for specific stuff, or to just remember a certain task or things that we need to put in a backlog. And yeah, so thank you very much for your update. Andy, I also see you here in the call. You're one of the team colleagues in the AirGap team. So you're doing a lot of things also next to Eternity, working with other blockchains and blockchain projects. And it's always interesting to hear your opinion and the things that you are doing and focusing on. So please also give us your little update.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to say that it was a pleasure to meet a couple of you in Berlin last weekend or on Friday. The air-gap team was at the Eternity meetup, that we met people like Stoyan, who can't be here today in the call, also Yanni, Emil, just a lot of important people. It was nice. Yeah, and so I can't really give an update for the base app, obviously, for Stoyan, but I know that Stoyan and me, we have spent a lot of time also with Dennis to discuss the metadata AEX, and that has now reached, I think, a very good state and will be probably finalized soon. But he will have more updates there. Then also we have had a lot of discussions about AEX2 and AEX7. We decided that we would kind of change the AEX7 proposal from the ground up to make it to have less overlap with AEX2 and be compatible with AEX2. That will be something we'll focus on right now. And then in more air-gap news, we have released a new wallet version actually today that now has the biggest update is that there are some QR fixes that some people in the Eternity community also reported that they were affected by this issue. Yeah.
Great. Thanks a lot for the update. One person also working on a wallet or browser extension and signing app is Milen, also here in this call. So Milen, you got the next spot. Please give us your update.
This week we released our version 0.1.1, which included a lot of new features and bug fixes. We've improved the fungible token interactions. We've reorganized the menu. We've separated our build procedures so that we can build easily for Chrome separately from Firefox version. We've worked on improving the Chrome permission sets that last week or the week before I reported that we had problems with it. We've added the sign and verify message functionality to the wallet, so now people are able to sign a custom message with their account, and then they can pass it to somebody and they can verify whether this message was signed by them. We've added terms and conditions and privacy policy pages. Not that we are collecting any data, but we thought that it is good to state it and people could read what exactly the wallet is providing and what information is stored where. We've improved our multi-language support, and actually we've contacted Vlad and the Chinese community to help us with the translations. And another thing that we've been working now, yesterday and today, is to include the custom message signing into the AEP object, which is injected into the website page, so that applications could request signatures not only for transactions, but also for messages. And that is from our side.
Cool, great. I have also following the wallet Twitter account, and I saw that you tweet about updates there, and I think it's a very, very good idea. Also, kind of naming the product you're working on. So when you look at Ethereum, you have Ether.js and things like that. So they kind of give them some personality and name, and it's good when you, like, for example, search for it. You know, it's also better for search results and just can get to your point. So this is really what I like, and I would like to encourage others to kind of follow your example here. So thanks a lot, Milen, for the update. Next one in line is Martin. Usually your team is working and coordinating AE project, the renamed Forge AE, so the setup of a local development environment. But the past days or weeks have been kind of busy with the token migration for the non-transferable tokens, which will happen in 2 days. So I think there will still be quite some people being quite surprised that they cannot move their AE tokens on Ethereum anymore. But luckily we have your team and people like Hans and others who made it possible that they're still away. And this is what you are working on right now. So please give us an update and also what problems you face right now.
Yes. Hi guys. Before I start with the token migration, I just want to update you that we have released new version of the playground, and a lot of issues there were now fixed, and you can use it now for like an online IDE. Regarding the token migration, we are at the finish line there. We have faced a lot of issues, but yeah, thanks to the core team guys and the SDK team, they were supporting us. The client-side application is now finished. The smart contract is almost finished. We have some polishing there, and we will then ping again Pibu, Milan, and the core team guys to review it, because we want everything good. Of course, current issue for interacting with this contract with the Go SDK, but we have communicating with the guys responsible for this, and we will probably resolve it in an hour or few. So the tokens will be freezed next Monday on the 2nd of September at 7:56 p.m. UTC time. So probably Tuesday morning CEST time, we'll start the migration script, which will extract the token holders from the contract. We will use two sources. One is an Ethereum node that we have fully synced, and the other will be using Infura API.
How did you manage that one?
Yeah, we managed that one. It took us about 2 weeks to sync it, but it's now fully synced. So we will use both sources, and we will compare them. If they are equal, then we can push everything to the smart contract, and we will start the token migration. We will have 2 or 3 days, probably next week, from Monday to probably Wednesday. We wanted to test the whole system and to be sure that everything is working flawlessly, and then we will push it, and the guys will be able to transfer their tokens. Yeah, and we want to make sure that even though their tokens will be freezed for about a day or two, they are not lost. So all of the community users will be able to migrate their tokens to the new Eternity network. So yeah, this is from our side.
Great, thanks a lot. This is really great. Also, there are some statistics and numbers. I think 98%, 99%, no, even more than 99% of the tokens are in standard Ethereum accounts. So there will be a very, very small number of people who have their tokens in contracts or managed by contracts. This is something we have not solved yet, but I think 99+% is quite good, and we can live with this, and most of the community will be happy. So thanks a lot for this important work. Also, an extremely important work is, and the main overview here has Andrea for the different SDKs that are getting built. I see Andrea here in the call. So please, Andrea, give us a high-level update, and afterwards we can also jump to 1 or 2 people participating here, like, for example, Andrew, who is specifically working on the Go SDK. Maybe he wants to add a few sentences. But first you, Andrea, about the SDKs, and I guess also a few words about the middleware, if there has been updates.
Yes, can you hear me?
We can hear you well.
Okay, so for the SDKs, we have been working as following up the core team to support the development for the Lima series, and in particular, and also for the new compiler that is being developed. I've shared a forum post on the forum. The name is the Road to Lima in the SDK category.
Great, thank you.
I will share there more updates when we have them. For the middleware, we have an update. We've been working on a feature about verifying source code of contracts. So we will be able soon to verify that the source code of a contract belongs to a deployed contract on the
that's really nice.
blockchain. And that's all from my side.
Really nice. Good updates, and also this Road to Lima post in the forum. Thank you for doing this. I also would like to give another shout out here to Tino, who wrote 2 very nice updates, in my opinion, about the stage and the progress. and especially linking to the design and documentation of the issue, and then to the solution and the PR of that issue, plus a short description. This makes it really nice to follow the progress and also jump to specific topics. I will also publish a forum post soon which is about, let's say, call it best practice for development to community reporting. Maybe everybody can here give here some thoughts and feedback on it, so that we kind of find a unified way on how to show everyone out there what's going on. Thank you, Andrea. Andrew, do you want to add something specifically about your efforts in the Go SDK? If yes, please say a few words.
Hi, the Go SDK, let's see. Right now I'm helping Martin and Alexei out on the token migration. I tried, and then this week I just implemented Lima and the new compiler support. I wanted to work on a framework that makes making oracles easier, but unfortunately I haven't had that much time to work on that. The reason I joined the meeting today was because I had quite a few insights and things that I got to know by interviewing lots of layer 2 developers at Web3 Summit and basically Berlin Blockchain Week last week. Is this the right place to share?
Yes, please. I mean, take 2-3 minutes. I think it's definitely interesting, and also you are like invited to join this call every week and give a few words updates. As you, I think, one of the only persons working more or less full time on the Go. So please, yes, continue, Andrew. Could you hear me, Andrew?
Yes, please.
I guess there's a short delay here in Jitsi that happens sometimes. I'm not sure if you're both talking at the same time right now. Andrew?
I talked with Uniswap. Uniswap is written on... Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. Please continue. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, I guess there are like a few connection problems. I will just jump in here again. We have tried.
I hear you, but
yeah. So okay, cool. I'm sorry, Andrew.
So I talk with Uniswap. It's like a very popular DEX on Ethereum, and they are written in Viper, which is a newer language in Solidity. Viper has lots of small bugs, but nothing that needed an redeployment. Apparently, it's very crucial that apparently it is a big limiting feature of oracles in Ethereum that they are only smart contracts, and therefore they are totally trapped in.
Okay, I'm losing you here again. I am not sure if this is so I see that Andrew just disconnected and reconnected. I think this input is really interesting, Andrew. Maybe you can make a few bullet points in a forum post, in a written post, and we take it from there, or schedule like another community call where we can talk about some other projects and what they do and what their challenges are and what we try to improve on the side of Eternity. And looking at the current list of participants, I think we have been through most or all of them. Of course, not everyone participated, as this is a very huge community slowly, and not everybody is always here at 3 p.m. on a Friday. So I'm looking forward to read also the updates in the Eternity forum and see all of you plus other faces next week on Friday. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining this call, and talk to you very soon. Have a good weekend.
And the release 4.2.1 is out, as we are
talking. And the release 4.2.1 is out.
Grab it.
Woo! I will do.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.